We have three phenomenal speakers for you here today to kind of help you deconstruct a push and really help you understand everything you need to go out there and challenge yourself and get the most out of this 2-week period. So we're going to walk you through each step. We're going to walk you through the why, the what, and the how. And we're very honored today to start off with the one and only Chloe Webb. All right. Now, Chloe is the newest of our speakers by far, and someone that I was super excited to get on our agenda today because Chloe has done, well, just about all of it, right? She's been one of the top representatives here as a new rep. She was the #2 representative in all of Southland last year in our, virtual program, and really someone that produced great amounts of CPO success, energy, just amazing things last summer, right? She produced a $12,000 push period and is currently taking on the challenge to really grow herself to run her own branch office right now while being a full-time student throughout the school year. So to walk you all through why the why matters. You've heard so many times probably start with why, and your why is important, but to really walk you through why that's important and how to really find that in yourself, ladies and gentlemen, help me bring up and share some love in the chat box for the one and only Chloe Webb. Chloe, take it from here. Let me go and stop screen sharing. You got control.
All right, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Whoa, that is way too big. Hold on. All right, so why is why important? If you've been here for a long time, you've heard this 1,000 times. Know your why, right? So why do you have to know your why? Well, when your why is strong enough, it takes you out of yourself. So you have to find a why that you connect with. And I mean fully emotionally, intellectually, spiritually connect with, so that despite all the challenges and frustrations that you face, you will overcome all of them, right? Your why is your fuel behind all the action you're willing to take in order to achieve your goals, especially in the face of adversity. And your why is important because it takes you out of yourself. It is your way out of selfishness, which is really your way out of fear, right? Fear is when we return to protecting ourselves. And so who here, whether you've been here for 4 years or 4 days, have come across something that scares you a little bit while working here? Yeah, all of us should have our, be thinking of ourselves, right? Then it looks like, you need to connect with your why, and that's why I'm here. So let's talk about the golden circle. The golden circle was coined by Simon Sinek, and it explains why some organizations and leaders are able to inspire and why some aren't. So this circle starts with what, right? Every business owner knows what they do. And, we, for example, show the world's finest set of cutlery. Most of us know how to do it, phone time, demos, closing, but very, very few of us know why we do what we do. And by why, I mean, what's your purpose? What's your cause? Why does your business exist? And why do you get out of bed in the morning, right? Why should anyone care? So people are designed to act from the outside in, the most concrete things to the fuzziest things. But the inspired business people and the inspired leaders, regardless of how new they are or the size of their business, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out, starting with their why. So here's an example. If Apple, for example, were like anyone else, their marketing message might sound like this. What are we? We make great computers. How? They're beautifully designed and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Right? So they're like, oh, let me ask my husband. I don't know. So unfortunately, that's not how, that's how a lot of us sell our knives, right? We know it's a great product. They know it's a great product. But a sale is an emotional decision based on facts. There's no emotion in knowing that it's a great product. And so when you sell like this, you sell less, but you also most likely don't work as hard because it's just selling knives. But here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. That way we can challenge the status quo. We do that by making great products that are beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. And we just happen to make good computers. Want to buy one? Right? Totally different. And that's why you have to move from the inside out. So how do you figure out your why? First, I want to cover the neuroscience of motivation. So there's a center in the brain called the striatum. This registers your goals, your visions, the parts of your brain that moves you towards them. And so the question is, what activates the striatum? The number one thing that moves you towards your goals, your whys, your aspirations is your why. And the more clear you are in your why, the more motivated you are to achieve your goals. So it's not enough to know your why, but you need to be connected to it and feel it on a consistent basis. So how do you identify it? So I'm going to ask everyone a series of questions. If you're not taking notes, now's the time to start. And I want you all to jot down the answers. Now, you can go back to these later, but I want you to just brainstorm with me now. The first question I want you to answer is, what is your vision, your goal, or what you're working towards for this push? If you don't know this yet, talk to your manager. But once you have that down, more importantly, why does this goal matter to you, right? Why does this goal matter to you? And I want everyone to unpack your answer in 3 layers. The first is, why is it important to you personally? That could be skill development, character development, mental toughness, but it could also be earning material things like saving up for your car, paying for your housing in college, or even just being able to take your mom out to get her nails done, right? Okay, so the second layer is relationally. Why does this matter to those you care about? That can be your family now, parents, siblings, significant others, but it can also be your family in the future, your kids, your spouse, the future generations. And it could be anyone that you're working with that you're really close to. For many of us, it's our manager, assistant managers, or teammates. We heard Haley earlier talking about how she wants to be a good representative for her team. And then the third layer is the bigger picture. Why does this matter to your community, your society, or the world? And you can make this as big as you want. Why does it matter to your customers, for our reps? Why does it matter for your team, for our managers? Why does this affect the world, however big you want it? So after you've really gotten to the bottom of why you're doing what you're doing, look at your whys constantly. You put it up on Post-it notes, you change your lock screen, put it up on widgets on your phone, create a vision board. Really, really put your whys everywhere. Tell everyone, right? And so why is going big for the push an elite opportunity to develop a strong why? Well, my second push was the first time ever I discovered my why. It was the first time in my life that I was able to connect to a why strong enough to pull me out of any adversity. And that is a skill that I hold close to my heart to this day. In my first push, I was committed to selling 10K. And Anthony, you'll probably remember this. Anthony was my coach, my last push. But with my stats at the time, that meant doing at least 5 demos a day. Most days I would do 6, making 858 calls in total. And I was all in. And at the end of the push, I did everything right. I committed to the effort. I did more than I should have. And I only sold 6K. So what was I missing? I had no why. So in my second push of that year, my manager, Hans, came to me and suggested a 12K push. Now, I never sold 12K. The most I'd ever sold in a push period was 10K. And previous to that, I just missed my 10K goal. So I was not feeling good, as you can imagine. But, so immediately I declined his offer. There's no way I could hit that. I said I had only sold 6K in my last push. But then Hans said, and I'll never forget this, how badass would it be if you could double that this push? You would prove to yourself and to everyone else that you had become the type of person to reach your goals through all the adversity you faced last push. And I faced adversity. Everyone here who knows me knows that I went 12 demos and sold 1 coffee bag, okay? If that's not adversity, I don't know what is. And that was a switch I needed to flip, right? I had my first why. I needed to prove everyone wrong. Most importantly, I needed to prove myself wrong. And after that, the whys kept coming. If I sold 12K, it would be enough to cover my dorming for school. If I sold 12K, I would be able to expand my comfort zone and become the woman that I would want to become. If I sold 12K, I would be 1 step closer to graduating debt-free so my mom wouldn't have to worry about me. And for those 2 weeks, I shared these whys with everyone I came across, the grocery store baggers, my parents, my teachers, anyone. And guess what? I sold that 12K. right? Was I the best salesperson? Hell no. Was I a hard worker? Yes. And did I have a why? Yeah, I did. And so if you take one thing from today's talk, I want you to take this. Because I set big goals for myself and for my first push, and I committed to the process of hitting those goals, I became the person that would hit my goals in my second push. And because I set my goals high for my second push, I learned why is important. Thank you.
Absolute fire. Blow up that chat box. Show her some love. I need to see Queen in there like 1,500 times right now. Chloe, that was phenomenal. That was a fantastic talk about developing whys and really just understanding where those come from and taking that TED talk in there as well.